And now in this section we talk about the story and the title of the great poem, The Night in the Panther's Skin. So we start with the story. In a nutshell, the story of the great poem, The Night in the Panther's Skin, is about the adventures of two knights, Tariel and Aptandil. Tariel is the protagonist of the poem. He is the man that wears the tiger skin, and Aptandil is the chief of staff of the Arab armies. So in the next step, I'll talk about the story in detail. The story of the great poem, The Night in the Panther's Skin, can be divided into two parts. The first part is the search for Tariel, the protagonist of the poem, and the second part is the search for Tariel's beloved, the Standarajan. So we start with the first part, the search for Tariel. One day, King Rostevan, that is the king of Arabia, goes to an hunting competition with Aptandil. Aptandil is the chief of staff of the Arab armies. And during the competition, they take a break and they sit under a tree. And all of a sudden, they see a mysterious knight lying by a river. So King Rostevan, that is the king of Arabia, wanted very much to know who is that mysterious knight. Therefore, he sent slaves in order to contact him, but the mysterious knight reacts violently and kills all the slaves that were sent by King Rostevan in order to contact him, and then disappears. Tinatin is the only daughter of King Rostevan, and Tinatin loves Aptandil, and Aptandil also loves Tinatin. So Tinatin asks her beloved Aptandil to find the mysterious knight in 3 years, and in return she will marry him. So Aptandil goes to search the mysterious knight all over the world, and he finds in the end he finds the mysterious knight after 2 years and 9 months. The mysterious knight tells him that his name is Tariel, and he was the commander of India's fleet, and he also loves Standarajan, who is the daughter of King Parsedan. King Parsedan is the king of India. But the problem was that she was abducted, and from that point he sank into deep depression. He was crying and sobbing 24 hours a day, and he was totally isolated with the society. He had only one maiden beside him, and they were together in a cave. So the story of the mysterious knight Tariel, Aptandil was moved by the story of the mysterious knight Tariel, and therefore he becomes friend of Tariel, and he also promises Tariel to help him to find his beloved, the Standarajan. So that is the first part of the story, the search for Tariel. The second part of the story is the search for Tariel's beloved, the Standarajan. So in the second part, Aptandil searches a lot for Tariel's beloved, the Standarajan, and finally he finds out that the Standarajan was abducted by the Kajis. The Kajis are demons. So after he finds out that the Standarajan was abducted by the Kajis, then Aptandil, Tariel, and Pridon, who is the ruler of the city Ulgazanzar, together with 300 soldiers, go to the country of the Kajis, in order to rescue the Darajan from her captivity. But the problem is that the country of the Kajis is a fortress, and it is actually impossible to infiltrate to this fortress. In addition, the second problem is that the Kajis are very strong warriors, so it is actually impossible mission to rescue the Darajan from her captivity by the Kajis. But against all the odds, the 300 soldiers, together with Constantine, Freedom, and Tariel, did the unthinkable and succeeded to rescue the Darajan from her captivity by the Kajis. The story has an happy ending in the sense that Constantine marries Tinadin, and Tariel, the protagonist of the poem, marries his beloved Darajan. So that is the story of the great poem, The Knight in the Panther's Skin. In the next step, I'll talk about the title of the great poem. The title of the great poem is The Knight in the Panther's Skin. Actually, it is not clear if it is a panther of a tiger or a tiger. Therefore, we assume that it is a tiger. So, the title of the poem is The Knight with a tiger's skin. The knight is the protagonist of the poem Tariel that wears a tiger's skin. Actually, there is a particular chapter in the poem that talks about Tariel that killed a lion and a tiger. And the story of that particular poem, of that particular chapter is as follows. One day, Tariel, the protagonist of the poem, sees a lion that was chasing after a tiger. So Tariel thought that the lion's intention is to kill the tiger. So in order to rescue the tiger, he kills the lion and then goes to the tiger to hug her. But the tiger is very angry on Tariel because of the fact that the lion and the tiger were not fighting but just playing a game. Therefore, the tiger starts to eat Tariel with its paws very strongly. Tariel could hear no more the blows of the tiger, and therefore he eats back the tiger, and with one blow the tiger died. So actually it is a very tragic story because of the fact that Tariel risked his life in order to save the tiger from the hands of the lion. But at the end of the story, he was the one that killed the tiger that he loved so much. So Tariel himself is very upset and is very sorry about the fact that he killed accidentally the tiger, and therefore he decides to wear the tiger's skin as a coat. That is to say, he used the tiger's skin as a coat. And the reason that he did it in order to have a reminder for the fact that he killed the tiger that he loved so much. It was by accident, but at the end of the story, that is the reality that he killed the tiger. And the second reason that Tariel wears the tiger's skin is because of the fact that the tiger's face was very similar to his beloved face, the Darajan, and by wearing the skin of tiger, it reminds him the abduction of his beloved, the Darajan. The Darajan was abducted twice. So in total there is two reasons that Tariel wears the skin of the tiger. The first reason is to remind him that he killed the tiger that he loved so much, and the second reason that it reminds him his beloved Darajan that was abducted twice. There is a question about why is the tiger is so important figure in the poem. First of all, we know that the tiger is a very important figure in the poem because of the fact that the name of the poem is The Knight in the Tiger's Skin. So why is the tiger is very important figure in the poem? Because of the fact that the tiger's face was very similar to Nestor John's face. So let's be loved. Okay, thank you very much.